Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. And for those that have some of your colleagues that were unable to make it today, we are recording this and I will be posting the link later on this afternoon. So you can be sure to review it again also if you have any questions. So again, thank you for joining us this morning. We've had the Hydrating Facial with Cold Stones for several years as a featured service in the summer months, and also in the winter months with Hand and Stone for quite a long time now. So it's a very rewarding, easy to perform service that really is ideal for all clients. So today's agenda is to just briefly go through how to position the service, how to sell it, who to sell it to, and then sewing up a little few last minute questions and answers for you. So basically, when we go through the summer months, clearly all clients are good candidates for the Hydrating Facial. So I think it's important to also talk to your clients about this being a good alternative to the regular therapies that they sometimes get. This is really designed to be a very relaxing, cooling, soothing facial. And as we go through the protocol, you might have questions as to why we don't put extraction down as one of the steps. And I'll clarify all of that as we go through. But this, again, is its intended use or intended purpose is to really be that cooling, soothing, relaxing, hydrating facial. Everyone needs hydration. Well over 99% of our clients have some degree of dehydration. It's tough to battle the dehydration in the summer months. We know that we have to encourage our clients to drink more water, but we also know how important it is to water the skin top down with ongoing support with diligent home care products as well as services like this one. It's difficult to get the amount of water needed into the skin, and I think we need to stress that to our clients, that this hydrating facial, as it's written now, can almost be done in a series every 2 weeks for a series of 5, which is great because it gets us through the summer months and keeps the skin really in balance, which is really great because it can be performed on all skin types. We'll talk about a few contraindications that we want to look out for, but for the most part, this is really good for everyone. Ideal for post-sun exposure, summer heat, redness, inflammation, all the conditions associated with other skin disorders like rosacea. And more importantly, this is a really great service for those that suffer from sinus problems. So let's talk a little bit about the cold stones since they're the heroes within this protocol. And this is what makes this specific treatment pretty special. Cold stones have an instant vasoconstrictor or anti-inflammatory effect on the skin. Now, when I say cold stones, I like to get them super cold. So I bathe my stones in a bowl of ice prior to the client getting there and being prepared for the stones to be really icy. The reason why I feel confident about the stones being that icy is that we do have somewhat of a barrier within the protocol with the pop-up infusant mask. So we'll talk about that. It's important to know that we don't want to put iced stones directly on the skin as we can get some freezer burn. I've seen it. I know it's uncomfortable. And so for the most part, we are cushioning that amount of coldness, if you will, on the skin with that infusant pop-up mask. If you don't have the infusant, which would be unfortunate because it's a big player in this protocol as well, I would suggest that you put it in a bowl of cold water instead of icing the stones. Remember that this treatment protocol is best to use when the entire protocol is followed. So it's ideal to have the infusant pop-ups, and it's really ideal to have these stones prepared ahead of time in a bowl of ice. So what does that really mean when we get that vasoconstrictive or anti-inflammatory effect on the skin? It really does help to push some lymphatic drainage. We know that as we're placing the stones or massaging with the stones, it can also apply some pressure in the lymphatic drainage points or power pressure points to really encourage detoxification in the skin. So they'll noticeably be less puffy as a result of this type of service. Also, obviously, less redness, which is usually indicated for those sensitive skin types, those that suffer from the signs of rosacea, or just a lot of heat in the summer and a lot of UV exposure. A lot less inflammation as a result as well, less discomfort, It minimizes any swelling that the client may have for whatever reason, and also improves puffiness, particularly around the eyes. Some of you maybe just are working with the round stones, but we also have the moon-shaped stones available. And if you have those are ideal to really push a little bit of pressure around the lower lid to help improve the puffiness as well. And overall, just an exceptional cooling effect on the skin. So you can see all of these things are benefits as a result of using cold stones, and it's an instant gratification. So these things that you see here on the screen are usually instantaneously improved. So it's a great recommendation for clients that suffer from the following. I love cold stone facials, this hydrating facial, ideal for a very inflamed grade 3 acne. Also to help assist the nodular cystic acne sufferers, not through your typical extraction techniques, but just through a cooling, soothing, anti-inflammatory service like this can really make a huge difference. As we know, we recommend icing the skin at night at home for this condition, so you can imagine kind of the same result here in service. Not to mention that most people that suffer from inflamed type of acne also are on usually some topical medications or over-the-counter monograph medications that also deplete the skin of moisture. I love this also for my clients that suffer from rosacea. You know, summer is not a good friend of those clients that suffer from rosacea. It exacerbates most conditions associated with rosacea. So inflammation, redness, erythema, pustular development, soreness, tenderness, sensitivity levels are peaking. All of those conditions associated with rosacea are clearly improved by this particular service. Excellent for excessive sun exposure. Both UVA, UVB sun exposure depletes the skin, obviously, of moisture and can really dry the skin out, causing unnecessary flakiness, which we know that excessive dehydration can also lend to several other unwanted conditions. So again, just by balancing the skin out throughout the summer months, by doing a series of these hydration facials are exceptional for the skin. I like it also for the clients that have health issues that result in chronic inflammation. So this can be anything from high blood pressure to other systemic disorders or diseases in the body. Also keep in mind that clients that take really lots of systemic medications for certain ailments can also cause chronic inflammation. Now remember, we always talk about inflammation being kind of the precursor to several other unwanted disorders, diseases in the skin and body. So it's always a good idea to educate your client on the fact that keeping the skin in a non-inflamed state is really critical for the longevity or the health of the skin, but also a lot of inflammation or chronic inflammation can lead to premature aging. It seems to me that whenever I start talking about prematurely aging the skin, when the clients have a choice to slow that down a little bit, they choose the right choices. Nobody really wants to prematurely age their skin if they're just educated on that. So remember, chronic inflammation can lead to premature aging of the skin. We know that there's two sorts of aging. There's extrinsic aging, which is influenced by outside environment and other things that we do to the skin. And then there's intrinsic, which is the natural, progressive aging process of the skin. So things that we can control, I like to make sure our clients are aware through services and home care products what they can do to create the balance in their skin so they don't have chronic inflammation that could lead to this. And it's really about finding the balance. So this service really is to address two things critically. One is that it infuses the amount of water that the skin needs to stay balanced. Without water or with excessive dehydration, the skin just does not function normally. The other is to really manage inflammation. Those two are prevalent amongst all clients, particularly in the summer. And again, I love this service with clients with sinus problems or sinus headaches, even sometimes migraines, because the cool stones and the cooling effects of this service can be really advantageous. I also find that with our oncology clients, it's really, again, that soothing, cooling, comforting service. So if they're going through treatment and their skin is really taking a hit, whether it's radiation or chemotherapy or other medical services and or medications that could be really drying them out for whatever their medical ailments could be, this is just an overall great service. I love this as a post-peel series must-have. So if I'm selling my client on a series of peels or microdermabrasion, or they're coming off a micropeel, I automatically book a post-peel hydrating service just to kind of, again, get the balance in the skin. As we know that a lot of our acids can rob the skin of moisture, and some of the most progressive services can do it as well, particularly dealing with the summer months that are drier to begin with. Also, I love this in the summer as a post-vacation service. I always try to teach my clients coming back from vacation and indulging a little bit maybe in foods and beverages and also lots of sun exposure and little rest. This is a perfect post-vacation hydrating facial. So I also market it as that as well. The good news is the products and supplies needed for this service are already found in your back bar. The only thing is that set of stones that you may have to purchase. If you've already got them, great. If not, Hand and Stone Corporate has their vendor source for this. But you can see in this order in the protocol, we use the Take It Off as a pre-cleanse and a makeup remover, the Cleanse Daily. The Relax Massage Oil is how we coat those stones for the oil, for the massage. And we're calling out the Enzyme Duo, which is a little less progressive in this protocol. Clearly, the daily dose is used as your super hydrator or super soaker, I call it. And this is actually my multitasking because in this protocol, it's used as a laid down serum underneath the Infuse It pop-up mask. Easy in the eyes, again, very cooling, soothing, anti-puffing agent for the eyes. Calm me in the morning, feel better, or nourish your skin is called out regardless of what type of skin you're working on. You would choose the most appropriate moisturizer or lubricant for the skin, and clearly the Skin Defense SPF 30. So these should all be currently in your back bar or behind the chair already. And again, if you're needing anything, keep in mind, if you have to up your inventory, the 4+1 is an ongoing incentive for you to buy to stock up all your rooms for this service. So the protocol is as follows. I'm going to walk you through verbally the protocol, and then I'll let you know that you can find the video to the hydrating facial on our YouTube account, and I will be posting the actual link for you on our social media platforms, as well as we'll be going out as a post webinar letter for you with the protocol itself attached as well as the video. This hydrating facial protocol is attached already to your invite, so you may have already downloaded that. If not, it's there for you as well, but you will find this posted in quite a few places following the webinar today. So this is a full 50-minute protocol. So most of you are booking out 50 to 75 minutes for this. The protocol itself be done in the 50 minutes. So step one is to remove any makeup with your Take It Off and also as a pre-cleanse. You'll then use the Cleanse Daily onto wet hands and quickly cleansing the skin and wiping it down with the 4x4s. I like to spritz the Take Your Vitamin spray for a couple spritzes and let that just kind of seep into the skin as well as I'm getting prepared to do their skin analysis. Step two is to identify any concerns that you see within the skin as you quickly look across the skin to see if there's anything contraindicated. The good news is there really isn't anything within this protocol that should be contraindicated to any of your clients, with the exceptions of any known or unknown allergies to any of the ingredients. We are calling out the enzyme in this just to keep it a very mild approach to the skin. And that is very benign, and so that works almost for 100% of all your clients as well. The next step is that once we analyze the skin is to do the massage. Now, the steamer is an option. If you've got a cold steamer, great. if you're using a regular warm steamer, I would just push it out to about 18 to 20 inches away, just so that you get the benefit of the steam and not the heat. The steam is good for especially for working with the enzymes to motivate those enzymes to really work well on the skin, but the goal is not to overheat the skin. So you also have that as an option to not use it at all for your super sensitive clients or your rosacea prone clients. Then the next thing is, once your steam is rolling, you want to take about 1 teaspoon of the Relax Massage oil into the hands and warm the oil, and then apply the oil evenly all over to the skin. We're going to be doing a 10-minute full massage here, and that's in addition to the cold stones. So they get the benefit of all this great massage. So direct steam when you feel it's appropriate onto the face and neck, and then starting the massage. Once finished, I like to use a warm towel just to help remove the remaining Relax Massage oil from the face, and then following up with just your 4x4s and tepid water. You can keep the steam going for the next step if it feels appropriate. Again, I would just push it out a little bit farther, knowing that those enzymes in this enzyme duo really are dependent on some form of moist heat to really activate. So just keep the steam rolling, but keep it pushed out far enough where it's not producing a lot of heat. Particularly if you're working on your subtype 2 rosacea clients or someone who has a lot of recent UVA or UVB exposure. Step 4 is that you're still going to keep the steam on. I like to cover the eyes with moist cotton rounds, or you can butterfly a 4x4, and you're going to apply this all over and leave it on for 10 minutes. Once 10 minutes is up, you're going to remove the mask with your 4x4s. And again, the intended purpose of this facial is for hydration and to calm and soothe the skin. It's a great alternative to the basic or exceptional facials that include extraction. So we avoid extraction in the protocols. I know several of you have written to me and asked why extractions aren't a part of this. It's not that they can't be. So I always say if there are obvious comedones or pustules that need extraction, you should always remove or extract them. But this isn't a facial protocol in which we're spending 10 minutes out of 50 minutes doing extractions. We're focusing more on hydrating, calming, soothing, and providing a good cooling experience for the client. So if you need to extract, go ahead and extract if you find it necessary. And then step 5 is really the masking cooling. And this is 15 minutes of the entire protocol. So what we're going to do is lay down a 1/4 teaspoon of the daily dose of water. This actually is converting now into your hydrating mask. This is going to be underneath the Infuse-It pop-up mask. I like to take the Infuse-It mask and plop it into the water or the ice bowl that we've already got the stones into to make it very chilly. Make sure you let your clients know that they're going to feel a very chilly pop-up occlusive mask. Make sure that you're also draping the client from the neck down in case you get any drippage. The best thing to do is to roll that Infuse-It pop-up mask a couple times in the palm of your hand so that it's not dripping. So by the time you actually apply it, it's not dripping down the neck. You're going to take 2 stones out of your cold ice bath and coat them with a teaspoon of the Relax Massage oil and roll those stones around in the palm of your hands to make sure they're well coated. Then you're going to start at the jawbone and apply the cold stones over the Infuse-It pop-up mask and keeping the stones moving. As you go forward, when you get to some of the pressure points or lymphatic drainage points, you can stop and press the cold stones in as well. So again, as opposed to teaching a massage technique here, I really want you to adopt your own massage technique, knowing that you can do both a movement as well as placement of the stones, depending on the type of client that you're working on and what their needs are. If you don't have the stones, and some of you may not, you can also place a cool towel over the Infuse-It pop-up mask for the remaining 10 minutes, just to keep that Infuse-It mask cool. So you want to keep repeating the massage techniques until you've reached the 10 minutes, or keeping the cool towel on for the remaining 10 minutes. Once done, remove the Infuse-It pop-up mask or cold towel, and massage any remaining daily dose of water into the skin. You don't want to rinse this off. This becomes your hydrator. And then after step 6, you'll then provide them with your moisturizer or your lubricant based on the type of skin. I like calming in the morning, particularly in this protocol because of the azulene. It's very cooling and soothing and calming, although I'm one to often lean towards the nourish your skin as well for my really oil dry clients. Easy on the eyes can go down first around the eye area, and then just a quarter teaspoon of calming in the morning or nourish your skin or feel better, which is ever appropriate. Allow that to dry just ever so slightly in the skin, and then apply your quarter tablespoon of the Skin Defense by warming it up in the hands and really pressing it in. And the reason for that is, again, you don't want to rub that Skin Defense on. You want to place it into the skin so you get full sun protection with that without migrating it around the skin at all. And that really is how simple this protocol is. Whenever we've done this, we get just rave reviews. Clients absolutely love this facial. And if you haven't done it already, I do advise you to work on each other. Get one, receive one, make sure you tweak it to make sure you're confident about it, and you'll be able to then generally talk about it with your clients. It just feels amazing. The Cold Stone video is available on YouTube. I won't take up 30 more minutes of your time to show you here this morning like I intended to. I know that I just said it was going to be a 30-minute webinar, so I will be posting this link for you on the social media platforms as well as sending it out as a follow-up to the webinar this morning. If you have any questions at all about the protocol, please keep us informed and email us at education@clarityclinicalskincare.com or just pick up the phones and hit extension 105 for Albie. She's our education coordinator, can help address any questions that you may have with this as well. Also, I always like to talk about pairing certain retail products to the service. So just to sew this up this morning, some of the summertime must-haves, really, the daily dose of water for obvious reasons. This is your super soaker. I position it like that in the summer. Clients absolutely need this in the summer, and you know it's our biggest selling item. So absolutely position this as a pairing with this service. Take it easy. I love it, especially for those clients that are suffering from increased redness or inflammation or an overactive skin type throughout the summer, lots of UV exposure. Take it easy. It's just amazing, as it's really coined as Visine for the skin. It just takes the red out. Take care daily, clearly, to get your oxidative protection. This is a very strong antioxidant necessary for those that are really involved with a lot of environmental aggressors or exposed to a lot of UVA and UVB. Take your vitamin spray, again, another super soaker, ideal throughout the summer months as well as throughout the year. And then last but not least is our Skin Defense. These are my 5 go-to products in the summer. They just sell like crazy, so it's great to have a featured product along with this service. And I would feature all 5 of these, but maybe pick a couple heroes and focus on those. I also love this. It's a perfect takeaway. I love to sell it with a series of these hydrating facials. It's a great go-to for a first-time client getting started on the ClarityRx regimens at home. I just think it's a perfect pairing. So again, for under $50, this is just the perfect on-the-go kit. And if there's any questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is a very simple hydrating facial protocol.